Here comes the proof of the change of base rule, and we'll leave some space to prove also the laws of logarithms. So we start with x being equal to logarithm of c in base b, which means, using the definition of the logarithm, that c is equal to b to the power of x. Now let us apply logarithm in base a on both sides. So we get logarithm of c in base a equals to logarithm of b to the power of x in base a again. Then, applying the third law of logarithm, the left-hand side stays unchanged, and on the right-hand side we get x times logarithm of b in base a. Now, next step, we divide by this expression here and we switch sides, and we get that x is equal to the logarithm of c in base a divided by the logarithm of b in base a. Well, and we said just x is logarithm of c in base b, that was the origin. So logarithm of c in base b is logarithm of c in some base a divided by logarithm of b in some base a, what we wanted to prove. Let us now prove the laws of logarithm. Since u is a number and b is a base, we can write u as the base b to some power m, and the same applies for v, and then we can rewrite that as m being the logarithm of u in base b and n being the logarithm of v in base b. I refer to all these different equations with 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, proving the law of logarithm L1, we have logarithm of uv in base b. That's the same like logarithm of, in base b, of b to the power of m times b to the power of n, using here the equation 1 and 2, so substituting u and v back here. Then we can rewrite that obviously as logarithm of b to the power of m plus n, just using a power rule in base b, and here using the logarithmic identity 1, we get m plus n, and now using 3 and 4, these equations here, what we stated before, we see this is logarithm of u in base b plus logarithm of v in base b. So that's the proof of law of logarithm 1. Proof of law of logarithm 2 is almost the same, so I'll skip that here. Let's look at the law of logarithm 3, which is logarithm of u to the power of r in base b is, well, using the definition of 1, we get logarithm of b to the power of m, the whole thing to the power of r in base b. This is equal to logarithm of b to the power of m times r in base b, using again just the power rule. This is using the logarithmic identity 1, just m times r, or r times m, and now substituting back the m by logarithm of u in base b, we get r times logarithm of u in base b, and we have also proved the third law of logarithms.